Hello everyone, my name is Kara Pickens and I am a high school and dual credit ELA teacher in rural/small town southern Indiana at Springs Valley High School, and I'm so excited to be part of the Edulastic Innovative Educators team this year. I'm really looking forward to learning from other teachers across the country and also sharing what I'm doing in my classroom. If I had to really pin down an aha moment from using Edulastic in the last year, I would say that it was prompted by something that didn't work in my classroom. And so in Indiana, schools can make up snow days by having e-learning days or digital learning days at home. And I initially this year for our first snow day created a lesson using Google Classroom and had all the different parts of a lesson, right? Like the anticipatory hook, the direct instruction, the practice, the assessment. And I put those all as separate assignments on Google Classroom. And some of those parts of those lessons really were meant to take 2 minutes. They weren't meant to be really time consuming, but when students saw 4 different assignments for my class, some of them freaked out and they didn't even open the assignment because they just thought, Dr. Pickens put way too much work on today. So I needed to solve that. And so what I did was decided to put all those components on Edulastic, and instead of using Edulastic to create an assessment for my students, I used Edulastic to create a lesson for my students. And so, for example, I created a lesson on irony, and I started out with an attention grabber question about something that happened that was funny to them in the past, and I used the essay question, and they weren't actually writing an essay in response to this. They were just responding with their personal experience to kind of draw a connection to what they were about to study. On the next question, I used the passage-based question. And because the passage-based question allows you to use different types of media, and it also allows you to have tabs with different passages, I put direct instruction on there in a way that was differentiated. So I had some video instruction for students that wanted to use video instruction, and I also created a tab that had written instruction if they wanted to use that instead. And then again, I used the essay question feature to allow them to respond to their instruction to show their learning. On the next question, I had them practice the skills looking for irony, and again, I did some differentiated activities for the students. So I used 3 different poems that have irony in them, and I chose an easy, medium, and hard poem, and so they were all on separate tabs. And the students all had the same question. They were practicing with finding irony and explaining the author's use of irony, but they had different passages to work with. So my students that were lower level readers were still practicing the same skill. And they had some choice with that. And then the students that wanted to be challenged had an opportunity to be challenged. They had Shakespeare to work with. And then students then all together practiced with another text as their assessment. And then finally they had an exit slip where they went back to their attention grabbing question about their funny event that happened to them, and then they had to explain whether that funny event was actually ironic or if it was just funny. And the feedback I got from students was so much more positive. It was the same amount of work as the previous assignment that I had given, but this time they just had it all in one place. It was also differentiated, so that increased engagement, and the overall feedback from students was that they loved it. And I love it too. I love that Edulastic gives me so many options and so much flexibility, and that I can create those kind of engaging lesson plans for students, and they can work on them at their own pace as well. I just think that's an incredible tool for teachers to use. I can't wait to continue encouraging other teachers to use it and keep growing in how I use this tool as well. Thank you.